was having a good conversation with James. All right, y'all, keep tapping the screen. If you disagree with something I have on the board, please come up. I'll definitely love to talk to you. All right, is your name Stefan or Stoppin? Stop hating. How's it going, Stop? Are you over 18, and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
Oh, yeah, well over 18. Yeah, I disagree with most of it, actually.
All right, sure. Go ahead and start with one, and then we could talk about it. What do you disagree with and why?
The first one, this is why I said most of it, because one's partial, right? You're right, because the fact that there wasn't equality for for a lot of our history, that's why I would agree with you partially on one. But I think you also and I are on the same page with we're getting better with that, right? We're not 100% there, but I think we've made some great progress in the last several years and last 10 years or 20 years. Actually, every year I think we're making great progress. Period. We're trending in the right direction. But as far as being woke is good, no, man, I could never agree with any of those kind of people on anything. And then as far as Black Americans or BLK should get reparations. It's getting cut off. Sorry. So should get reparations. If you can prove that it's happened to you or something's happened to you that you were deprived of, then yes. If nothing happened to you and you weren't deprived of anything, then no, I wouldn't agree with that.
Okay, cool. Let's first start with woke. You said that you'll never agree with them. If that's the case, what does woke actually mean to you?
To me, I guess it's always you see these kids with masks on, or not masks. Well, they end up going with masks on in the protest, but they're just screaming and yelling, calling everybody racist just because they're Republican. I think woke is also part of the. You have to say your pronouns and know it. I mean, he, this, it. I mean, there's like I believe that there's you're either male, you're female. I mean, I believe you can have the.
Okay.
I don't know if I can say it, but the changes.
That's fine. Okay. So woke came from the Black community. It just means awareness of racial and social injustice. So kids yelling at people, calling them racist, really, it has nothing to do with it. It only has like a tertiary, or tertiary connection, really, because once you're aware of racial and social injustice, you can tell if someone is racist or not. So yeah, you're gonna have kids yelling people could be racist. Now, of course, over the past couple of years, has there been an issue of people just yelling at folks, calling them racist, and they may not be or not understand what they're saying is racist or not? Yeah, sure, we can say that, right? And we can have some nuance there. But being woke is all just about you being aware of injustice. And if you're aware of injustice, racial, gender, sexual, etc., then that's what makes you woke. That's why it says it's a good thing.
Well, I think you're right when you maybe the intention of it and what it started off as, but what it's turned into, at least for like you said, and I appreciate you saying, what do I perceive it as? Because it is my perception. A lot of people would have different beliefs. But it just seems like it's turned into instead of what it was. I don't think it is today what the intent was for it. So I think people are taking it way too far, and they're automatically labeling and stereotyping people just because of the way they vote or what kind of a party they're in. I mean, it's just it's crazy how it's just they love that. I just feel like the Democrats love to attack the Republicans. And it's not, the Republicans don't attack the Democrats. They don't attack them. They don't call them, I mean, they might joke with them, call them funny names, but they don't really have hate and lash out to them and try to just make them feel like crap and have so much hatred.
There are people in the comments right now saying that I'm unappreciative and a smooth brain.
Say that again?
There are people in the comments right now who have MAGA in their name that are calling me smooth brain and calling me unappreciative and telling me to leave the country. Republicans attacking leftists happens all the time.
I think these people are looking at your word. Like I think they're seeing what you've listed out here in bullets, and you're just trying to get a conversation going. I think that they gotta be open minded. That you're just trying to steer conversation. Up. You're right. I think that's closed minded if people are attacking. I think that they feel they may. My speculation is because when I first saw what you had up here, until I actually listened to you, I got a little frustrated by what you have here, like because I disagree with everything you have on here, and I felt like you were trying to stir up, like, what do they call it? I don't want to say the word and get you in trouble, but they call it like RA baits or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, rage bait.
Yeah. I heard you can't say that, so I didn't want to like. But yeah, it sounded. I felt like that's what you were doing at first, but then hearing you talk and how fair you are and the way you're communicating, I don't think that was really your intent at all. I just felt like it was at first. For just reading it, not listening to you.
Yeah, of course. I get that. I do know that a lot of these words are provocative, which is why I actually want to have that discussion with people to see exactly where their mind is. But when it comes to the thing about being woke, that's exactly like what it is now. The thing is, my thing about it is that the term woke got co-opted, and not by the left. They got co-opted by the right, because these old conservative white men didn't know what it meant when they see white teenagers say it, and all of a sudden it became this bad thing. That's exactly how I saw it develop. You feel me? Like people, like old Republicans, basically, like they started using woke because they saw that these influencers or these teenagers or people around their area saying it, not knowing what it meant, and all of a sudden there's this bad thing about blue hair women yelling at people when that's not what the case is.
That's exactly what I think of it as. Exactly.
Right. Exactly, but it's not that. All right, cool. So when it comes to Black Americans getting reparations, when it comes to reparations, you said if it's something that you can prove happened to you, then that means that you should be repaired for it. The question I'll then ask: do you think that the African American community was damaged by government and private interests?
Yeah, I think that's true.
Right. So we should repair that then.
Yeah, but I don't think just giving away cash, raising my taxes to give away cash, and that cash might not even. How does that cash even repair it? I find it kind of actually insulting in a way where somebody's saying, "You give me money, and then maybe I'll, maybe," and it's a maybe I'll, forgive you. I just and how much money is that, and how often does it stop, and who gets it? And it's not. I know it's not just money; it's other things too. But it's just I don't know. I feel like if we want it, it's all about equality, right? Everybody wanted equality for years, and finally getting there. Let's keep that. Let's not start giving other people things that you can't. That I think we should just be fair with each other, and everybody get the same thing going forward.
Okay, yeah, I could get that sentiment, right? Because you said, like, I gotta go back from the beginning. When it comes to reparations, right? One thing a lot of people don't realize is that just getting cash is not necessarily the only thing reparations are. Because remember, like you said, just receiving cash is not going to solve all the systemic problems, right? So we also have to address the school system, how schools are funded. You also got to address food deserts. You also have to address environmental issues like environmental racism. That's a thing. Like, for example, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the homes that Black people lived in or who were forced to live in had lead in them. And we all know that what lead paint causes a lot of cognitive issues, right? So you have to solve like environmental racism. A lot of the data centers that AI uses, those data centers are in Black communities, and they poison the water there because AI uses a lot of heat. You know what I'm saying? So that's another issue, right? So reparations would encompass all those, not just cash payments, right? Now, when it comes to cash payments, if we were to say like, would taxes get raised or not? I don't think so, because the Japanese got reparations and we didn't have to raise taxes for that, right? But also, that's another thing. We have precedents for it already. If we know that the cash exists already for this particular community to get repaired, why not do it? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So all these things come into reparations, not just giving, people money.
I don't know if the cash does exist, though. If it does, then why does everybody talk about how we would have all this surplus of money instead of being trillions in debt? But I guess, and you talked about lead paper, paint, and all this. Are you talking about like when you say housing? Are you talking about like what do they call those? Like real affordable housing? Basically, where they people couldn't afford it, so they kind of
The projects, yeah.
projects, yeah.
The thing is, when it comes to like black communities, they were forced into those environments because of like redlining. And redlining is something that didn't happen just in the South. It happened all over. It happened in the Northeast, Chicago. It happened in the Midwest, out in the West Coast. Like, for example, Compton, California, which is now probably famous for being one of the worst neighborhoods in America, used to be one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in America. But once black people started moving there, the LA County stopped investing into those areas and charged black people exorbitant rates for their interest rates on their homes, knowing that they would default on those. You see what I'm saying? And they would take like like those plant jobs that existed around those areas. They would shut down those communities. Therefore, there's no income going into those neighborhoods anymore either. You see what I'm saying? Like all this is what happens. All this goes into what reparations would be. We have to address all of that. It's gonna take a while. And it's going to involve, investment into those communities, but it definitely won't just be cash payments. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of the neighborhoods that you would think of that are like some of the worst neighborhoods in America, I guarantee you 100% of them were redlined. You know what I mean? East Baltimore, the Bronx, South Side Chicago, East St. Louis, every single one of them were redlined. You know what I mean? And every single one of them have a majority of black people living there, which is why we need to address, how we actually fix the problem. Because like, history doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? What happened back then still has effects today, which is why we should fix it. That's what reparations will be about. All that makes sense?
It does make sense, but to an extent, like you don't think that these neighborhoods went down because they just didn't take care of them. They didn't invest in them. They didn't. Because I mean I've seen like a lot of things and how neighborhoods get treated and I've actually I've had my own experience. I've lived in predominantly black child BLK neighborhoods. I grew up in that as well as schools. So I know it's also a fact that things just don't get treated a certain way and taken care of and built and money communities, because I hear about a lot of good, hardworking BLKs saying we're going to build in our community, we're going to do great. As soon as they start doing better for themselves and treated by my own people bad, I got to get out of here, I got to go. So then they move their businesses or move to nicer neighborhoods and all this other things. So they never do what they sought out to do before they found their wealth. And you hear them say the reason why is because they felt like they weren't matched by their fellow BLKs. They weren't. They didn't get the same level of dedication, desire to bring up their community like they intended. That's what I see and hear through a lot of these TikToks. But yeah.
Give me a second. We got about 2 minutes left, but I'm gonna end off with this. Like, I understand that, right? Capital flight is a thing. Like when you try to invest into a community, but like things happen and you gotta take your money out because of the risk to your investment. I get that capital flight can be an issue. The thing is, when you say that these communities weren't reinvested in, we have to understand that around the time this was happening. This was around, Jim Crow times, right? This was around like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Like, black people did not have a lot of opportunities to get, better jobs in order to lift themselves up or upward mobility. It was affected by all those things. And not only that, when you redline these areas and there's not a lot of, not a lot of tax revenue going into the communities, how are the schools funded? The schools are funded through property taxes. But if the people there don't own the property, they're just renting out, that those taxes are not going back into the schools. So number one, you don't have a lot of opportunity for people to have those good jobs. And number two, the schools are not well funded enough to give them a quality education for them to go ahead and move up, and it becomes a negative feedback loop. You see what I'm saying? No opportunities there for those people. They get a bad education. The education is not good enough for them to get a good job, and therefore they can't reinvest into the neighborhood. They can't reinvest into the neighborhood, so there's no tax revenue into the neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? It's a negative feedback loop. So that's what was going on.
I definitely see what you're saying. Like back when the 60s, 70s, even 80s, hell, even 90s. But I'm talking about more recent, like today's. You know, it's still happening. It's, you know what I mean. What I'm saying is I'm getting it off of TikTok and new business owners, new people. I mean, now today's society, people now. I'm not talking about hearing this back 10, 20, 30 years ago. Because I think you're right. I think that was happening to a certain extent. But I think it was a combination of both, you know. But it just, I know there was Black BLKs weren't afforded all the same opportunities years and years ago, and things are getting better. But overall, I mean, I feel like you shouldn't be attacked in the comments. I wish everybody in the comments would be more open minded to listen to you, talk to you, maybe help you understand things a different way. Maybe you will help them understand, like. I might look into the woke a little bit more. Maybe I'm just automatically think everybody's a blue haired girl. But even the guys to me seem like blue haired girls. I mean, but I'll tell you,
Yeah, sure.
Really got frustrated over it after so many years of dealing with it. So.
Yeah, sure. I think there's like a lot of mistakes made in people who talk to folks. But I do appreciate you being up here. Stop hating. I gotta go ahead and move on to the next guest. But you have a good night now, all right?
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. All right, user, you still there? User, are you still there? All right, I hear you in the background. I hear some things going on there, but I don't know if you're still there or not. If you are there, clap once or something. Let me know you're still there so we could go ahead and have this conversation. If not, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next person. Viking22, I went ahead and invited you up. If you want to have this conversation, go ahead and come on up. I give everybody 15 minutes. While we're waiting for user to come on up, go ahead and keep tapping the live and keep liking it. I appreciate everybody who's up here who's willing to have a conversation. I'll go ahead and accept anyone who's going to come up and willing to talk to me about this.
What's up, man? What's up?
What's going on? Give me 1 second. All right, user, go ahead and come back up whenever you're not busy. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Safa.
Yes,
Safa,
sir.
how's it going?
You got what's up, man? You good?
I'm all right. All right, are you over 18 and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
I cannot see the third one. I think my screen.
The third one says black.
By whom? Like the whites, right? Whites.
Yeah, it was done by the government and private interests.
Oh, okay. So the only thing I disagree with the second one.
Being woke is good?
Yeah.
What does woke mean to you?
Thinking everything is a theory and like, for example, like a person, right, would always tell you that, okay, this, like, some spirituals just going on, this, that, like, I think it's just like being too spiritual about everything. It's not a good thing.
It's not what being woke is.
What is woke to you then?
Woke means just being aware of racial and social injustice.
Yeah, I still don't believe in it because it's 2025. How can anybody be racist?
How can anybody be racist in 2025?
Yeah, like it's
the president of the United States said a bunch of black immigrants were eating cats. You don't understand how people can be racist in 2025?
He said it about China. He said it to Chinese also.
No, he said yeah. You don't see racism there?
Yeah, but it's like, who cares these days though? Like,
it's not about who cares. You really ask, like, how can someone be racist in 2025? Plenty of people can be racist in 2025.
Yeah, but that at this point, I think it's less than it was before.
Yeah, sure. We can say that racial sentiment has decreased in certain ways. Yeah, but like that doesn't mean that systemic racism or discrimination or things of that matter are like completely over with. There are people out there who don't really understand like the racial history of America and the way that affects us today still.
Do you think? Do you think?
What up, Tommy?
Like, oh, sorry. What's up, Tommy? Do you think black racism is stopping Black Americans from being successful in 2025?
Yeah, we can say that. There's still research out there that shows that even when a Black American has the same qualifications and experience as a white applicant, they're still less likely to get hired, and even worse than that, even if they do get hired, the pay is not always the same. Yeah, I mean, so that still happens. That's an actual thing.
You know, in this day in society, right?
Say
A
that
lot
again?
in these days, right? Black Americans, I would say, they have more opportunities than before. Yet they still choose to do violence and do things on the streets. They still do things that's in the stereotype. So I would say in this day and age, they have way more like way. I'm talking about way more like opportunity, and they still don't even try and like take advantage of it from just like doing the most crimes. And I mean, I don't know if I can say that on TikTok, but you know, being in prison more, you know, getting arrested more. Like, what do you think to fix that, bro? Like,
The way to fix that is to alleviate poverty, because every single group across America, not just across America, across the world, that's been systemically put into poverty has those same problems that Black Americans have. Native Americans have those same issues.
yeah, but in America, we're talking about America though.
I'm
In
talking about
America.
I'm talking about Native Americans.
Oh,
Besides
okay.
Black Americans, Native Americans have those same exact issues, and they have the same type of history, systemic discrimination. So we know that systemic discrimination is the culprit behind all these issues, don't we?
And we still the highest of doing crime, right?
Are we still the highest of doing crime? No.
Yes, we are. We are the highest, bro. We're the lowest. It's a bro.
No, we're not.
From,
That's
from the
white men.
huh?
That's white men.
No, it's not. It's black. Black
White men
does most
commit
crime.
white men commit the majority of crimes in this country.
The stats. You can look at the stats. It says
It's white
black.
men
In 2025.
in 2025. It's white men. White men commit the majority of crimes in this country, which is kind of obvious. They're the majority of the country, so white men are going to commit the majority of crimes.
So if you only type in what race makes the most crime, it will say black.
No, it won't.
All right. I'm gonna type it in. I'm gonna type it. It says that. Just say type in who does the most crime. It will say black. Like race, black does the most crimes, bro.
You typed into Google who does the most crime, and it brought up black people.
Yeah, like no, I said, what race does the most crime in America in 2025? It's gonna say black, bro.
That's clear.
Hold on. Okay, it didn't say black. You're looking at a Reddit post, and Reddit is
What?
not a good source. But if you look at the FBI statistics, it says total arrests white 4,729,290. You know what black says? Black says
Yeah.
1,815,144,000. The last time I checked, 4 million is higher than 1 million, which means white men are committing the majority of the crimes.
And then in my statics, my AI overview said black people.
Which AI are you using?
AI overview.
AI overview?
Yeah, you know how you just go on Safari and it just say you just type in what you want and it just give you AI review.
All right. Did you go to the FBI crime stats table?
I didn't go there, no.
Okay, so I don't even believe with the AI overview. To tell you the truth, because I use Safari as well, and that goes straight to Google. And I typed in what you typed into Google, and that AI overview wasn't there. It went straight to the FBI crime statistics. So last time I checked, so are you gonna do the AI overview or the FBI crime arrests? Because on the FBI arrests, it says that white men were arrested. Like there were 4 million arrests for white men, 1 million arrests for black men. When you leave the app, I can't hear you. But
I'm sorry.
so it says 4 million for white men, 1 million for black men. Are you saying the FBI is lying?
No, I'm not gonna say that.
Okay, so that means that white men are committing the majority of the crimes in America then.
Who unalive more than
Who
Us, right?
commits? Who
Who
commits?
wanna lives more, as in us?
Oh, you're talking about like the unaliving rate.
Yeah, unalive, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. For unalivings, there are more unalivings with black people than there are with white people. Yeah,
Why? Okay, what do you think we could do to fix that?
alleviation of poverty every single time.
For real, that's the way. For real, like that's the only way.
I'm not gonna say that's the only way. Of course, there has to be other ways like education, nutrition, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But when it comes to violent crime, every single time that you alleviate poverty, violent crime always decreases across the board every single time.
But it's up to us to fix that though. And then it look like we all choose to be in that. We don't want to do nothing about it.
No one chooses to be in the projects. You're born there.
You're born there, yeah. You rather stay there and not try to do something about it.
Do you really think people want to stay in O Block or Little Haiti or
That's
Fourth Ward? You people think we would want to stay there?
Isn't that what's promoted in our music?
No.
Never leave the hood or come back to the hood. This that.
Yeah. I mean, rappers do a lot of hood music. So what?
Yeah.
You think the regular person who lives in the projects is gonna listen to Ti? Yeah, I mean, Ti represents what they living. That doesn't mean that they're just gonna want to stay there. That's stupid.
Yeah, but that's what they promote though. Why they would promote the stay there? They don't even stay there, but they promote that.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Like people like Jeezy, like Ti, like Scarface, like Nas, they've always gone back to the hood and say try to get out of here. Killer Mike does that too. They always try to say get out of here. They don't just promote. I mean, it makes for good music, but that's not the only music that they do.
Because when you said the rappers, those are really like old generation rappers. The new generation rappers do that.
You talking about like in the NBA young boys?
Yeah, the young boys, the cheat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the NBA young boys, the Kodak
Lil
Blacks,
Durk.
the Lil Durks. Yeah, sure, because that's the type of music that they do. But music is just entertainment. I'm not like for example, like Arnold Schwarzenegger played a robot who went around shooting people. Am I gonna put on a jacket and say I'll be back and go around shooting people? I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, because that's not relatable. But young boy and them like what they promote.
They are they are relatable. NBA young boy is relatable to kids in the hood,
Yeah,
but it's
exactly.
not NBA's young boy responsibility to take kids out the hood, is it?
Yeah, no, that's not the point I'm saying. The point I'm saying is that the brain, the damage and influence is damaging the kids, the youth, to like this, to make it cool to be the way, to be what he says. That's
Yeah,
why.
he never says it's cool to be what he says. He never says that.
No, I'm saying I'm saying the influence of what he's doing makes it cool to them.
Oh yeah, I could give you that. Yeah, it makes it cool. I'm not gonna not, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that there's no influence there. What
And
I'm
then
saying is that
when he-
what I'm saying is that if you have a kid whose
Yeah.
only influence in his life is NBA YoungBoy, there's a bigger problem there, isn't there?
Exactly, and that's majority of kids in the black community.
Nah,
It
nah, Cap.
is.
It's not. It's not. Now
Majority-
we do need better we do need role models into the community. I agree with you there 100%. NBA YoungBoy should not be the only influence or the only role model in the community. But to say that for the majority of youth, NBA YoungBoy and Lil Wayne and Kodak Black are the influence is cap. They know these. I mean, like kids can be irresponsible, but they're not as dumb as we think. Like my 13-year-old nephew listens to nothing but Kodak Black and Lil Durk. I'm his influence, not Lil Durk.
Yeah, but
How do you know that?
he sees, you know what I'm
Because
saying?
I talk to him.
He sees other people that look like him. He sees other people that look like him doing the things that are like, what you call it? How can you say that? Like, do criminal act, bro. Like, oh, you know, I did this at the bank. They're like, you know, like just criminal acts, bro. Like criminal like raps, bro.
Like here's the thing: we know that there are like influencers out there because we live in an influencer culture, right? So we know that there's an influencer culture out there, and a lot of times, unfortunately, rappers have a big influence, especially the gangster rappers, because it seems cool, right? We all know that already. What I'm saying is that if those rappers are the only influence in that child's life, there is a bigger problem because that child should not only have that rapper as the person that they look up to. What I'm saying is that we do have more than that. We do have more than that. I'm part of an organization called Black Men Build. We go out into the hood all the time. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just the fact that, okay, NBA YoungBoy is a rapper, therefore everybody stays in the hood. These issues are more complicated than that. You feel what I'm saying? Because I grew up listening to Tupac, right? I grew up listening to Biggie. I grew up listening to Lil Wayne. I'm not in the hood anymore. You see what I'm saying? So there's always because of other issues that I had, I was lucky enough to get out, right?
Yeah.
So it's not, and people around me were lucky enough to get out. So it's not just these rappers are influencing kids to stay in the hood. The issues are a lot more complicated than that.
I feel you, and look, I listen to them too, not them, but others that's similar, and I'm not like them, but it was like times, it was that like them years where I thought being the way they are or what they say is more cooler than what I'm doing as a kid. So I think that even though you don't live in that life or you don't be in these situations, you won't think what they doing or what they rapping about is cool. Like
No, what they're rapping about
it shouldn't be normal. It shouldn't be normalized. We should be like moving in a different direction. We shouldn't entertain criminal activities or criminal acts or criminal raps or something.
This is America. Like the entire country started on a criminal act. But what I was gonna say is that like America, like we don't have to be we're not even the face of it. Like the mob is the face of crime in America, and the mob is not black. So what I'm saying is that when it comes to the issues within the hood, it's a lot more complicated than just the music. It's also the systems that are in place. It's also the education. If a kid could go to school and get 8 hours of education, goes home and listens to one Kodak Black CD, and it erases 8 hours of education, there's another problem there. It's not Kodak Black.
The problem is they don't even go to school. Right? We skip them most of the times too.
They don't pay attention.
Yeah,
They don't
because
pay attention, bro. Like
there's other
in their face. They don't pay
right.
attention. They don't.
I got you, but what I'm saying is that there are other problems there, isn't there? Why aren't they paying attention? What is going on?
Life is a choice. Like they have a choice.
Hold on, stop. Listen to my question.
Yeah.
I understand that there are kids who are not paying attention in school. The question is why?
Because in the environment of people like him.
The environment, exactly.
Yeah,
The environment.
There are so many influences.
Hold on. Everybody pause. I'll only go one at a time. So yeah, Safa, the environment. The environment is something that we need to address. So if we fix the environment, those kids may be paying attention in school, right? Because we don't know if they're hungry. We don't know if they're being abused. We don't know if their parents never encouraged their education. We don't know if even if their teachers are professional. We don't know if their teachers are the ones who are bullying them. Because I can tell you, like personally, I know people like not just family, but like not just friends, but family included, that their first bullies were their teachers. You see what I'm saying? So like all that goes into consideration. We just can't say kids are listening to Kodak Black and NBA YoungBoy, therefore that's why the hood is the way it is. It's a lot more complicated than that.
And the reason I'm talking this way, by the way, bro, is like I'm tired of this victim mindset black people, black Americans or whatever, like have in their head.
What is the victim mindset?
Like, oh my gosh, it's their fault. Oh my gosh, the reason he can't go to school because it's his fault. It's the white man's fault. It's the white man. I just hate that.
No one says people can't go to the school because it's the white man's fault. We say that the schools are bad,
I'm saying
and the schools being bad is the white man's fault.
You see, like it's something like I'm like, okay, I heard from someone from in real life, right? Like,
Safa, you know what redlining was, right?
talking about back in the days.
Yeah, you know what that was, right?
Nah, I didn't know what that was.
Wait, you don't know what redlining was? Hold on, user. If you don't know what redlining was, then you can't even begin to understand why the environment is the way that it is, bro.
Talking about the environment of our communities.
Yeah, the environment in our communities, it is that the way that it is specifically because of redlining. Redlining is the one that destroyed like the wealth and the
redlining
and the education of the school.
It's good for society.
Oh, okay, look, you just taught me something. By the way, Volsi, by the way, are you Haitian?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Z, I'm Haitian.
Yeah, man, Z's up, so I freeze up. You know how that
you
go.
up here talking about black issues, you're not even black. Haitians don't claim to be black. They'll fight
All right. So yeah, bro, Z's up till I freeze up.
Yeah, I'm Asian too, so I guess we could kind of correlate. Nah, after you told me that, I could see you was.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, you were Northern Zoe or Southern Zoe?
What
Florida
do
or
you
New
mean?
York?
I have never heard of that before. What you mean by that?
Florida Zoe, New York Zoe, Boston Zoe,
Florida.
Florida Zoe. Okay, so you South Florida or Orlando area.
South Florida.
So you know about Lil Haiti.
Yeah.
Lil Haiti was redline, bro. That's why it is the way that it is.
Damn. Okay. I'm aware. I'm aware. I just hate the bro. We gotta stop. I think we gotta stop blaming. I understand it's their fault, but we can't put our energy in just blaming other people. Just like I feel like we should build more good influence and say, okay, you know what? Yes, we went through this, but you know it's all right. We could just have our own way. This that. I'm just tired of this victim. I'm not gonna, cause I'm a man who I don't hate nobody. You know, I have a blood, madame a blood. You feel me? But but it's like
Your
can't.
Dom a blunt. How your old lady feel about your Dom being a blunt, bro?
Know what I'm saying? Kisa.
Yeah. You see, Zoe lady didn't like you being with a blunt. I already know because my Zoe lady said the same thing.
She said.
Oh, for the people who don't know, Zoe lady is our mothers. That's what we call them, our mothers, Zoe lady. But yeah, my Zoe lady said the same thing. No blunt.
Yeah,
From Noir Selma.
Yeah, blah. So blah. So yeah.
Well, can I ask you this?
but
Can I
it's
ask? Can I ask you this? You
go
said
ahead.
that black people complain, and that they put the victimized thing, right? Okay, let
Yeah.
me say this.
Hey, Curtis, can you give me just 1 second because
Okay.
users. No, I appreciate you, but users been up
Okay.
here for a while, and I know you and Safa
Okay.
are probably gonna need to
Okay.
talk.
All right.
User, you still there?
User. I'm sorry for taking up the time. I'm so sorry.
Nah, it's all good. You still there, user?
Nah, I think he's doing something.
Nah, he's probably doing something. All right, Curtis, you can go ahead and ask a question. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, I want to ask him this question. He said that, black people always come in with a victim mind that complain, right? Okay, I'm just going to break it down, then I'm asking the question. A lot of this situation, what we got to is because we complain. If we didn't complain, we would be wiped out like idiots. Next question. I'm gonna ask you this question. Okay, when you say that we like to complain, why is it that when white people complain about the government and their issues and things like that, that's patriotic? When black people complain about their issues, it's called complaining and playing the victim. Why is that?
Because we're blaming another race all the time, bro.
Well, you're blaming a president for your problem. The same thing.
Exactly.
Why are you blaming your problem?
That's
Now, hold on a
different.
second. Everybody has issues in a different way, my brother. Everybody has issues that has to be addressed. For example, white people dominate the employment and management level positions in America. It goes by 76%, right? And then
Yeah.
white people dominate when it comes to scholarship. Asian white people dominate. That was the whole point on why they was helping the black people out with affirmative action to get scholarships, and then they turned around and take it away from it. There is a issues and what they need to do, what's going on with them, and when it comes to us, there is a problem that has to be taken. So when
I disagree. You know what? I disagree.
we know you do. We know you do.
No.
All right, Safa, why you disagree? Go ahead.
It's like, okay, you say, like, that's not the same thing. You saying, oh, how come white people could complain about the government or this, that, but
Yes, it's their issues. It's their
we can't-
issues. They don't have.
their
They
issues,
have.
right,
They have
but
not been held back.
why are
Listen,
making why do black people make white people their issue all the time, though?
Okay, listen what I'm trying to tell you.
That's another
You know what I'm saying?
race.
First of all,
People.
hold on. First of all, nobody is always
so.
making it about their issues, right? But what I am saying is, white people have issues financially, right? That they need to
Yeah.
take care of. Who do they complain to? The government,
The
right? When they have
government,
issues. Okay, hold on. Let me say this. Let me just say this, and then I'll let you say. So they complain about their issue. That is their issue. Their issues, how our issue is not the same. We did not come into
Exactly. I
America.
literally said
Hold
that.
on,
It's not the same.
let me finish.
I
We
literally
did
said
not,
that.
right. But what I'm saying is it is the same, but it's not the same. We did not come into America. Listen, hold on. They did not come into America as slaves. They didn't endure 100 years of Jim Crow. Let me ask you this question. How long was Jim Crow when it ended? How long ago was Jim Crow when it ended?
Oh my God.
No, listen. That's a problem. I'm just simply asking questions. Stop being
understand.
offended. How long ago was Jim Crow ended? Okay, let me help you out. It ended only 60 years ago. You don't think systemic racism is still going around? And as far as like redlining, you didn't even know redlining. You didn't know what it was. They put us all in certain areas, and that's what's redlining. When real estate
Facts.
and all type of things, a lot of the acts in real estate is put together because of the things
I
that they
agree.
did to black
Hey
people.
Curtis, can you pause me real quick? Because
Yeah.
I do appreciate you dropping gems. Like I don't mean to interrupt. I just pause me real quick. Safa, I got a question to ask you, right? Because you do sound like a young Zoe. When did you graduate? Yeah, when did you graduate high school? Just to
2018.
2018. Okay, cool. So I graduated in 2005.
Oh, shit.
I'm old. I know. Well, the thing I want to point out, what's sad about this is that
pat on the back, bro. Hold on. That man, he a year older than me. You 39, or you hit 40 yet?
I'm pushing 40. I ain't pushing 40.
Bro, you look good, bro. Keep
Hey,
doing
I
what
appreciate
you
it.
doing, bro.
Like I
Drink
lied.
some water.
Some
I'm finna drink some
realize.
water right now.
It's all the water. Yeah, it's the water. All right, but the reason why I said so soft is because when I graduated in 2005, right, a lot of them what I'm talking about right now, I literally did not know. I learned about redlining in 2007 and 2008, and I didn't even know how bad it was until I went to an HBCU. So this is what I will say for you, Safa. If you're planning on going to college,
Hey,
go to an
hold on,
HBCU
was
so they
you
can
here the
teach you
whole
more.
time? Was you here the whole time between 2005 to present, or did
Yes.
or did you? How long have you been in America?
Oh, I was born and raised here, but
I was born and raised here. Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I was just trying to understand. I'll mute up. Go ahead, bro.
Gotcha. But yeah, everything that I learned was after high school. So I don't really blame you, Safa, for not knowing because unfortunately, and I'm from Florida too, we wasn't taught a lot about that. You feel what I'm saying? You was taught about, slavery, then MLK ended racism somehow, and then everybody's good now. That's how we were taught. You feel me? Basically, that's how we were taught. So I would suggest going into the details of this, start off with redlining. You know what I'm saying? Start off with there, and then you're gonna go on down a rabbit hole of everything that Curtis is telling you. You feel
Hey,
me?
host, can I ask you a question
understand.
on the topic real quick?
Go ahead. Alex.
I'm just curious to see if you know the truth. Do you know how MLK was unalived?
Yeah, I do. Give me 1 second, Radiant.
Can I say something?
Yeah, Virginia. I'm gonna get to you, Virginia. I'm gonna get to Virginia. Radiant, go ahead, and then I gotta get to Virginia. Okay. And Curtis, you could go ahead and stay up if you want to. Radiant, what were you asking me?
I just want you to answer that question, and you get back to Virginia. Do you know how he was unalive, and can you tell us?
Oh yeah. He was pew-pewed, right? But the FBI told the doctors to not save him. Basically, he could have survived, but
He did survive. Not that they. I'm gonna tell you the last part. The last part wasn't pew pew. He survived the pew pew. Then he got to the hospital, and one of the nurses was in the Italian mafia, and they suffocated him with a pillow.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he was assassinated.
A lot of people don't know that how he was unalive. It wasn't because of the pew pew. He was suffocated in the hospital, and this is why they gaslight MLK. They talk about his "I had a dream" speech, but they won't talk about the speech about the burning houses and how he feared integration because how well we was doing when we wasn't part of the economy, and that's what led to the Tulsa bombing, the Philly bombing, and et cetera. But I'm gonna go ahead and let Virginia. Thank you for letting me say that, host.
Hey, not a
Hi,
problem.
y'all.
How you doing, Virginia? Oh, give me 1 second, Virginia. Hold on 1 second, Virginia.
Okay,
I have some
sweet.
rules. One second. All right. So, are you over 18, and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
I am 64 years old. No, I don't disagree. I just
Okay.
no.
Cool.
Damn, Sizzy, K, I'm surprised you keep your calm.
yeah, it's all good. Go ahead, Virginia. What did you want to say?
Okay, y'all, we're going back into slavery and talking, but my ancestors were slaves too. I'm Jewish. Okay, so
Oh.
if I go back there, we're going way back
Yes,
2,000 years ago. That hurts me when you say that only my people were slaves. No, we came from slavery too, honey.
Okay.
Just Virginia, host.
And my people went. I'm from a grandmother that was in the Holocaust. Okay, they had a
Okay, cool.
tattoo on her arm.
Virginia,
Gotcha.
how long ago was the Holocaust?
The Holocaust was in.
All right. Everybody, pause real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. Everybody, pause real quick. Everybody,
laughing about my
I got you.
ancestors.
Hold
No.
on, Virginia, hold on. I got you, Virginia. Virginia, I got you. Virginia, I got you. Okay, pause real quick. All right. Virginia, hold on, pause real quick. All right, Soph, I'm gonna let you down, but you could stay in the comments, and we could talk again. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Soph,
Sure,
appreciate you.
whatever.
All right, so Virginia, we're gonna go ahead and Virginia, hold on, Virginia. I got you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and have a talk. But just give me a second. Yo, Hayden, are you there?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
How's it going, Hayden? Are you over 18, and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
Yeah, I'm 28, and no, I guess I didn't really read the prompt. I guess I pulled up, and then I heard Curtis down there just talking, and I guess I'm getting really new to this whole debate thing. I've been just going down rabbit holes and joining lives and just kind of, educating myself on some stuff. And during these past couple of days of, joining these live debates and whatnot, and Curtis brought up the Jim Crow laws, and I guess, how the phones be listening to people and whatnot. And so
Gotcha.
my
Okay,
YouTube.
can
Yep.
you pause me just real quick? I got you. Like, I appreciate you being up. Just pause me real quick. But Virginia and Radiant want to have a discussion. I'm gonna get back to you. Okay, Hayden? Just give me,
For sure.
It's good. A few minutes. All right. Radiant. Before you respond to Virginia, I just want to talk to Virginia just really quickly. All right. But I got you.
God, I'm waiting. But thank you. I gotta say something.
Nah, not a problem, bro. All right, so Virginia, you are Jewish, okay? That's cool. I respect Jewish people. Now, I understand that Jews have gone through a lot within history, right? What we're talking about right now is in American history. In America, even in American history, Jews were discriminated against, right? The difference between Jewish people and black people within the difference between Jewish people and black people within American history is that Jewish people were actually allowed to build an economic base, while black people were not. As a matter of fact, America took advantage of a lot of the skills and the knowledge that Jewish people had, right? Because Jewish people were very good at finances, right? So America took advantage of that while paying you less. What they did to black people, however, was take advantage of their skills, but not pay them fairly, and dehumanize them. You see what I'm saying?
And German gave the Jews reparation.
Right, and not allow them to build an economic base. So that's the difference between Jewish people and black people in America. I understand the history of Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But the difference is that Jewish people were somehow repaired, especially when the land of Israel was set up, and black people were not repaired in this country at all. As a matter of fact, they're still being damaged. And even in my parents' home country of Haiti, there's still a lot of history there of America and France still damaging them. You know what I mean? That's a whole other rabbit hole. We're talking about black Americans in this case. You see what I'm saying? So black Americans were never repaired, and that's the difference between the Jewish history in America and the black history in America. Does all that make sense?
We were scattered around the different countries. And half of them made it out, and half of them didn't make it out. Over 1 billion people died in the Holocaust.
Oh no, it wasn't 1 billion people. You're exaggerating.
Wasn't it
Yeah,
6
Let me
million?
tell you something. You're trying to.
Let me get a hater. Let me get a hater. I've been waiting. I'm not properly enlightened Miss Virginia here. So one of the reasons I asked her when did the Holocaust occur, and she said it was 19. What year did you say, Virginia?
I'm like, hey y'all, I'm a mod. I just wanna, Virginia, I'm gonna ask you, because I already feel like I know the answer. You already told me you already said, what's your race?
She saw. Let me be quiet. Go ahead, Virginia.
Is she a white Jewish
What's my
woman?
race?
That's what I wanna know.
I'm Jewish.
Right,
Yeah,
but
angry
Jewish.
because we have.
Oh, I'm supposed to say I'm white, right? I'm supposed to say I'm white,
What is your
right?
race?
I'm white. I'm Jewish, and I'm
She's
white.
so defensive.
Okay, there we go.
I'm very defensive when it comes to my family.
No one did your Jews.
Yo.
So,
Yeah.
so Jewish people were not enslaved in America? The Holocaust is not slavery. Because
Oh,
I've been listening to this conversation.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. You just summed up
And
it. But
the Jews, the Germans gave them reparations.
I'm like,
Gave the
also,
Jews
I'm like,
reparations.
American chattel slavery lasted way longer than the Holocaust.
Wait,
And
KK,
then right
I
after
need
Jim
to add
Crow,
something on to what you just
redlining,
said.
Black people were being actively, Black Americans specifically, because because Vosie's Haitian, I'm Black American, right? Do you know my people were literally being lynched I'm sorry, strange fruited.
Mm-hmm.
While
Strange
the
fruit.
Holocaust was going on, when the Holocaust was going on in Germany, black people were going through Jim Crow in America.
So not
I
just
want to know what you're talking about.
they also ate us.
Years of Jim Crow.
100 years, yes, so it lasted longer than the
And,
Holocaust.
and 150 years of discrimination and racial profiling, which is still going on right now. Our Holocaust
Exactly.
is still
So I wanna
going.
know-
It's still ongoing
And-
from
And,
from
and, I,
the
and, I, and I like that you asked that question. And I like that you asked that question, my brother, when you asked her how long ago was that? Because 60 years was not that long ago, right? And that's when
It-
Jim Crow
Bro,
supposed to
thank you.
end. Boom.
Exactly.
I dropped
All right,
the
so
mic.
if everybody could just give me one pause
60
real quick.
years ago,
I got
guess
you.
what was happening to African Americans in America?
In America.
Jim
All right, so-
Crow was going on.
Host is asking
Exactly.
us
So,
to pause up, y'all.
Okay.
Everyone
So
mute
yeah,
their mics, let those
everybody. Gotcha. Everybody, pause real quick. So, Virginia, just to streamline everything that we're talking about, we understand what Jewish people went through, and the Holocaust was horrible. None of us wish that on anybody, right? No one on this panel will ever wish that on anyone. The Holocaust was horrible, correct? So, but when it comes to the difference between black people in America and Jewish people in America, Jewish people were actually allowed to build an economic base despite the horrible discrimination that Jewish people faced. But black people in America were being strange fruited, like Kay put out. We were also being eaten, like Radiant said, and how Kurt pointed out, a lot of the discrimination and the horror dehumanization that black people went through is still going on today. And Jewish people are not facing that today. We understand the discrimination that Jewish people face, and still there's discrimination against Jews as well. Yeah, we won't deny that. But
Please
comparing it to
tag
black
me
people
in.
is just not true. Oh yeah,
Please tag
go
me
ahead,
in.
Radiant. I just wanted to streamline all that so just you can understand. But go ahead, Radiant.
One of the most reasons why I asked her when did that occur, because I wanted her to do some math in her head, and she doesn't really understand what being Jewish and also being white means. The same thing that happened to the so-called Jews is what happened to the blacks. It's a difference between being a Jew and it's a difference between being Jewish. Jewish and Jew is two totally different people. The same thing as black in America. Black is an English word which means to become pale, bleach, or to become white. That's originally how Caucasians or Europeans were defined when they came here into this country. Secondly, I want to bring up the name Nat Turner, who was a revolutionary, and he was a freedom fighter. He fought to oppose slavery and the unaliving of melanated people. And when he was captured, do you have anyone on the panel? Do y'all know what the term Turner grease is?
I heard of that.
They boiled him to a grease and they ate him.
They ate him. They ate him.
And they kept his
That's
body
how much they
parts
ate.
as souvenirs. This is also one of the books. I can't even say the name of the books, but it pretty much linked or unalivings in America.
Yeah.
Where not only were they turned us to strange fruits, they removed genitalias and they removed fetuses from pregnant women while they were still alive. Then
all that
then
happened.
you had the 14th Amendment.
And that's why I brought up the strange fruiting, because that was.
Yeah,
also
I don't even think she understood what you said, Kay. I don't think you understand. I don't think she understand. So
Oh, I
understand.
understood what you said. I understood what you said. And the same thing happened to the Jews.
No,
we
that's
were
not what happened to the
in,
Jews.
in
not.
the
And
camp.
Jewish
They
people
were
are
experienced in
we're
the
not.
camp.
We're not going.
Jew and Jewish people are two totally different things.
I'm
What Jewish
freaking
people
Jewish.
What happened?
are the
I'm
colonizers that
And,
came.
and the experiences of Black Americans are not the same.
Can everybody pause?
You're black
Can everybody pause?
Americans, and that's
Can
all
everybody
that
pause?
matters
Can
about.
everybody pause? Can everybody pause? Can everybody pause? Can everybody pause?
I'm done. I'm off. I'll never come do this never again.
All
Done.
right. Appreciate you being up here, Virginia. All right.
I'm like,
Here's the thing that I'm like.
Oh, she's gonna be mad, bro.
I just want y'all to know it's just her being Jewish didn't stop her from being a Karen on this live.
It did not.
Right, because nobody, I didn't hear
So
nobody
I'm like, she
here.
let her whiteness come true.
She gonna cry while she's making that
Before
potato
fruition.
salad.
Wait,
She
so-
gonna cry in the car, bro.
I guess I have a question. Jewish and a Jew isn't just a Jew just the slang word for Jewish? I'm just asking, like, just a question.
No. The Jewish or the Jews were attacked by Caucasian Jews, which is Jewish. The same thing with the Black Americans. The original black people were the Caucasian and Europeans that came here. Then they learned and started calling the melanated people black.
Can I speak to that?
Here's the thing.
Interesting.
Hold on, y'all. Like Volsi, what really got me, what really got me was you're talking about the Holocaust that was happening in Germany. First of all, Germany and the United States. Like,
It's not even. Oh my God! Thank you.
Two different countries. Two
different
countries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is not even comparable.
So, and Kate,
Number
another
two,
thing.
the oppression of the black people in America about the time that the Holocaust was going on was 300 years in.
And another
Chattel
thing,
slavery,
Kate, who owns
redlining, Jim Crow, all of that was happening during the Holocaust time.
shareholders in the music industry, in the film industry, in the media industry right now? It's owned by who?
Yeah.
The what?
We know. we all know.
Like my grandmother is so funny. Like I have family members who live
This
through
was
Jim
the point
Crow,
I was
and they
trying to
will
land.
tell you, and they have all these stories.
Exactly.
This is the plane I was trying to land, host. When I was talking about black Americans, originally the so-called Caucasian was called black. Did y'all know they received reparations when they had to let go of their human property?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
technically, black Americans already received reparations.
Yeah, Rain, you're blocked. Because I know you ain't talking about me sounding like no Medea. That's misogyny.
That's messed up. All right. Can everybody just give me a pause real quickly because I have a new person on the board. Esoteric, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Are you over 18 and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
Am I over 18? Yeah. Do I disagree with it? Not necessarily, but I want to make some. I want to pick your brain about some of the things on the board.
You want to pick my brain real quick? Okay, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Esoteric really quickly, and I'm gonna bring you guys in. All right. All right. So, Tarek, what questions did you have, sir?
So the only thing that I do disagree with one thing on the board.
Sure.
The only thing I disagree with is black Americans should get reparations.
Who boy? All right. So, yeah, I know y'all want to jump into this one, all right? So just give me about a few minutes, and then I'm going to let you guys go, all right? Just give me a few minutes. All right, so, Esoteric, why do you think that black Americans should not get reparations?
Okay. I am an African American myself, so let's get that out first.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. And then everybody else on the board is too. I'm the only one who's not African American, but I'll talk a little bit. But go ahead.
For this conversation, you will be considered an African American. I'm a Haitian American. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but go ahead. Why do you think so?
I'm his co-mod, and I'm like an.
Yeah, Kay is black American, so she's gonna go ahead and rap to me. But go ahead, Esoteric.
Okay.
Why do you think that? Because to me it seems strange because from what I'm seeing about African American history, this government damaged your community to the point that we see that is today, and it has lasting effects. And I think that the government and those private interests should repair that. Why do you think that it shouldn't happen?
I don't think that shouldn't happen. I think that the way we are going about it is completely incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Every other country that's ever gotten reparations from this country had one thing in common. Does anyone on the board know what it was?
Like a platform or a common goal or
They all had different struggles. They all had different strikes, but they all had one thing in common.
Okay, what's that?
They all had a nationality and a flag and a country to claim. Then,
What flag do black Americans have, and what country do they have?
What does that have? America, we built you. Hold on. What are you talking about?
Wait, hold on. Everybody pause. I want him to get this all out the way so we can.
this is the problem. As soon as someone comes in with a contradictory idea, we always have to jump on them instead of trying to listen and see where I'm coming from.
No, I got you. Let's see where you're coming from. Okay, so
It's not about jumping. Just incorrect.
Hold on. It's not incorrect. Listen to me.
all right, go ahead. So you said that every of them had a flag and a country to claim, right? Like so there was power there. You're saying that black Americans do have a flag. I know that, but they don't have an actual state. Like there's no state to claim.
Exactly.
Okay, so for
that reason alone, we will never receive it.
Okay,
Okay,
so,
well, let me ask you this though. When the Germans, the Jews didn't have a flag either. When the Germans was Holocaust them and they gave them reparation,
They gave them Israel. They had a flag in the land after
they
that.
didn't give them Israel. You
Yes,
know what I'm
they
saying?
did.
And then okay, well then give us reparation. We deserve reparation. You can't give somebody a country. Israel been
Hold on,
the
hold
Jews
on, hold
already
on,
been
Also,
there.
America,
hold on,
I'm
y'all.
like
Hold on,
America is
hold on, y'all.
uh,
Hold on,
Black
y'all.
Americans
Hold
have
on,
more
y'all.
They didn't
ties to
give them.
America than anyone.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all.
I'm sorry, everybody pause, like, because we kind of have to go one at a time. I apologize. All
No,
right,
y'all.
what Curtis is saying, esoteric, is that when the Holocaust happened to the Jewish people in Germany, the Jewish people actually didn't have any land or any flag yet. They didn't have a nation. It was just they were all Jewish. That their reparations was the land that they were given, which I don't really think is reparations because it was really colonization. But that's a whole a whole nother topic. But yeah,
But that's actually false. Germans did not give them Israel. That's false.
right.
The Germans didn't give them Israel. They were granted.
Okay, but Germany was the one that did that to them, bro. So and
I
then they
understand.
turned around and gave them money.
Not just that,
after the
those are
Germans
all
lost the war,
nationalities with nations. Black is not a nationality. African American is not a nationality. These are
Exactly.
all terms that mean federal property. These are
Exactly.
reclassifications. So
Exactly.
I brought up
What
the
you're
term
saying, but they was
American.
human.
I brought up
They
the
was human
definition
beings.
American for you guys, and
Hold
it
on,
literally
hold on, y'all.
states.
Hold on. I just want to get to our point because what that brother just said is exactly correct.
Okay.
We have to, as a people, have our statuses corrected. We have to come correct. We can't just continue to say every time we say black or African American, we're literally saying that we are a stateless people, and they will not give reparations to a stateless people. It's in international law. It's in
Thank you,
international
Esso. I was
documents.
trying to say
It's
that.
all over the
Esso,
place.
can I just add in 2 cents into what you said, and I got I'm gonna mute up. I just want to add on to what you said before I forget. The thing is, with melanated people, we already have our own plight going on. We already had our rate back, but Americans, their birth rate has been sold out too.
Okay.
That's a fact.
So let me just kind of streamline. Let me see if I can understand your argument. Essentially, what you're saying, esoteric, is that Black Americans or African Americans today, when you claim that moniker, you're saying that you're calling yourself a stateless people, and Black Americans do not have a state yet. So you're saying that in order to get reparations, Black Americans need to make a claim to a state. I can
Exactly.
understand. I can understand that argument, right? But the fact of the matter is that we live in America, and unless you want to claim like land the way that Native Americans were given, and let me just put this out there: Native Americans were screwed. You know what I'm saying? So if they're going to screw the Native Americans, don't you think that they'll try to screw you as well? Like they'll try to screw y'all as well, right?
When we talk about the Native Americans, we talking about the same thing. They made that same
Exactly.
mark for
We are
themselves.
the Native.
Okay,
Same
We are
people
the
okay.
Native.
identified as
About
$5 Indians.
what
to
about
keep
the
that
Asian
land.
people? What about the Asian people? They got
What
the
about
Japanese
people?
got reparation.
Mm-hmm.
They got
The
reparation.
Japanese.
Yeah,
The
the Japanese
Asian,
got reparations.
The Chinese
the Japanese. Okay, the Japanese got reparation. They don't have a state over here.
They don't. No. They have Japan. They have China.
But they don't have
That's
over
who claimed
Man,
it.
what are you
Host, can you
talking
do me
about?
a
What they
favor?
got
Can
to
you read
do
the
with the
definition
fact
that I got on my
all right,
screen right
this
here?
is ignorant.
Listen. Y'all aren't following. Y'all are just
Man, you
trying to.
sound ignorant. You sound
No,
cool.
I do not.
But he said
I'm
over
the furthest
here
thing
they
from
do not
ignorant on
have
this
a
topic,
state.
my guy.
In America,
I'm the
they
furthest
do
thing from
not.
ignorant.
Japan is not in America, sir.
I didn't say that it was in America. I said that they have a people and they have in a state. They have a
They have a
country. They have where they
nationality.
come
I
from.
agree with
They
us
have a
on that part.
nationality. They have a nationality. We do not have a nationality as we are currently.
Definition of what's the definition of reparation, man?
To repair a nation.
Exactly. How can you
So,
repair something
with
that's
that
not a
being
nation?
said, host, can you see the definition that's on my screen? I just want you to read that, and it's going to bring a little clarity to the room. I don't want to cut nobody off. But this is the 1828 definition of the word American.
Come on, let's get it.
I don't think I
I
can
know
read.
exactly what
It
it's about.
says
Let me expand it.
a native. Hold on 1 second. A noun, native of America, originally applied to aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Do y'all understand what that says?
I do.
Do y'all understand what that says? I'm going to read it one more time. A native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races. Y'all know who the copper-colored races are, right?
Yeah.
This is the so-called black, the Negro, the African American. You are
Native Americans, the
Aboriginal.
Choctaw,
Yeah,
the
the
Haitians.
Choctaws, the Cherokee, and before they was Indian
It
or
says the
Moorish
Aboriginals
descent.
are the coloreds. Black
Yeah,
people were called colored before the word Negro.
No, copper color and color
Copper
is
color.
two different things. That goes back to color of law. That's like saying when you're black or African American, you're basically saying you're stateless because that's civility mortis in the court or color of law. Black and white or black in the color of law means death.
I'm like,
and-
hold. I don't.
Yeah, can we,
Because
yeah.
because first of all, Black Americans do not have no national. American is our
Basically,
nationality.
because black
I
Americans
want
have
to make
a
it correct.
classification.
Hello, I want to
Those
make it
who
correct.
are
No, listen. I want to make it
who are
correct real
called
quick.
black, you was originally called something
Hold
else.
on. Pause real quick. Curtis, what you were saying?
Okay, I want to make it correct repair. Reparation does not mean repair a nation. You know what I'm saying? It actually means to do right. It means something about doing right by, repairing the wrong you've done. It has it has nothing to do with a
It means
nation.
to repair a nation.
It means
A
to
nation.
repair-
That you're bringing up, right? Like these were the 1829 definitions. The issue that I'm having is that just because that was the definition in 1829 does not mean that's a definition today. You see what I'm saying? Like times have changed. That's hold on, wait. Time has changed is what I would say. The second thing that I would say is that Black Americans do have a nationality, which is American. You know what I'm saying? That's the nationality. Now, if you're gonna say that, hold on, wait. Let me just hold on, wait. If you're gonna say that Black Americans need to have a state, I could understand that, right? Like create the state of Solon or the Republic of Turner after Nat Turner or whatever. I get that.
That's what we
So-
actually did. I'm from the Republic of Malachi.
it's already done.
And when you
We
say
already
black
have that,
Americans,
brother.
all the other Americans don't say that. We don't say Caucasian American. We don't say European American. We barely say
Because
Native
The reason,
American. We already
the
know
reason
who
why,
we are.
Ethnicity, sir.
right? I just gotta do this, right?
Ethnicity.
Right. The reason why is because
What's your nationality, please?
I'm Haitian. I'm Haitian American.
Mine is
So-
absolutely.
Yeah, you see how you said Haitian American? He has a country and he has a country of origin and a country of
Exactly. You
residence.
can't be from two places at once.
Right. Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. The reason why. Hold on. Yeah. Listen. The reason why we hyphenate and say Black American or African American or Asian American, etc., is because in the United States, white people are the default. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you go to another country where another race, hold on. When you go to another country, everybody, hold on. When you go to another country where another race is the default, the minority gets hyphenated. For example, in Haiti, hold on, wait, listen. In Haiti, there's no such thing as Black Haitian. It's only white Haitian. Why? Because black people in Haiti are the default. It's the same thing in Jamaica. In Jamaica, black people are the default, so there's no such thing as Black Jamaican. It's only Chinese Jamaican, white Jamaican, etc., or Indian Jamaican, etc., because black people are the default there. So in America, white people are the default because they're the majority of the country, which is why we hyphenate, which is why you don't hear European American. You see what I'm saying? Because white people are the majority of the country and they're the default. But that's just a language thing that we do. I don't think that matters. When it comes to reparations, when it comes to hold on, let me just finish this. Let me just finish this. When it comes to reparations, the definitions of reparations is definition. So if we're talking about reparations for Black Americans, we know that the government and private interests did wrong things to Black Americans, so they should repair that. So the argument over whether whether Black Americans have a state or not, whether it was the definition of Black American, et cetera, I think all that is kind of silly. Well, not the definition of Black American. I'm not gonna say that, but whether Black Americans have a state or the definition of 1829, none of that really matters. What matters is now is that
But it
Black
does.
Americans were No, the 1829 definition doesn't matter because Black Americans were damaged for years and years and years, up until still today. It doesn't matter if you guys have a state on your own. The government should repair that community. And I'm asking, and if you're going to say that it shouldn't happen or the way we're going about it is because we need to create our own state, country, the Solon Republic first.
Exactly. Can I chime in, host? This
Go
is
ahead.
this is what I want y'all to understand. It's two Americas. White people are not the majority in the country in America. White people are the majority in the corporation of America. You have the
Hold on,
United States
hold
of
on. Hey,
America
don't even go there.
Republic,
Don't even go
and
there
you
yet.
have the
Hold on.
United States of
Hey,
America,
brother,
which
don't
is
even
a
go there yet.
corporation, is a business. The business is who has the president. People up
Don't
in
even go
land,
there
you
yet.
have
Don't even go
kings,
there yet. Hey,
queens,
hey, brother.
or barons. And so I put up this other Supreme case law that help verify what I'm saying, to help y'all understand a little bit. And you have to understand the so-called black people, Negro, African Americans, those are not nationalities. These are reclassifications of prisoners of war. In 1776, when the Corporation of America was founded, we was attacked by 7 to 8 different Caucasian or European countries. Our people are prisoners of war. We did not come here as slaves. Our people was already here. This is the reason why Black Americans, Negro, African Americans, and some Latin people, they can never be deported because they're already indigenous to the land. But
Exactly.
identifying as Black, that's not something like, for example, my great grandmother, she's full-blooded Cherokee. My father, his birth certificate says Negro. My mother, her birth certificate says Black, and mine says African American. We're all from the same bloodline, but we
Exactly.
call 3 or 4 different things, and it's
Exactly.
not hard to find. If you look up the Reclassification Act of North Carolinas, you'll see how majority of the indigenous Indians was reclassified as Negro or African American. African American is the term that was coined by Jesse Jackson in the 1980s. My bad,
Afro American
Kay.
was a thing since like the
No, he's 100% correct. You guys.
Yeah.
Let me read this case law. Can I get the big screen real quick, host? I want y'all to look this up too. And the thing is, with Americans right now, they're all trust fund babies. Anyone now that's born with a birth certificate or a social security number, you're being sold on the stock market. Until you authenticate your birth certificate and learn private banking, that's what the reparations are. A person that
I'm sorry, yo. We just kind of have to gonna move on.
Yes. Because
we have-
I'll tell you that he was giving pretending.
Yeah, all right. We have Shade up here. Shade, you still there?
What's good?
How's it going, Shade? Shade, are you over 18 and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
I'm 24. I don't disagree with anything.
Okay, cool. All right, so Esoteric, we gotta talk more about. Okay, so when you say that we're going about it the wrong way, do you think that Black Americans need to create their own country first within America before they try to go for reparations?
I do, but I also think that it's already been done. We're just unaware of it.
Okay, where?
Noble Drew Ali, Moorish Science Temple of America.
What?
Look up Noble Drew Ali. I can't search it up right now. Can you search it on your computer?
Talking about the paperwork thing, the Moorish temples, that thing?
Yes, that thing.
That's a scam, bro.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. You talking about Brother Poe lighting them? That's a scam, bro.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. There you go.
You talking about?
No. Look up right now on for everybody. Noble Drew Ali. Just real fast for me. I can't do it. I can't search right now.
Noble Drew Ali?
Yes, sir. Please.
It's a scam, bro.
You just give me a second.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and
I'm like, Volsi.
Yeah, I
why
know.
did you have the pretendians up here, child?
yeah, I just couldn't waste any more time, man. We were wasting time at the end of the day. All right, so if you disagree with what I have on the board, please go ahead and come on up. I have it's 9:30. My lady is looking at me right now for me to get off. So I'm gonna give you about 5 more minutes. Trill, you there? How's it going, Trill?
I've been just dispel a whole lot of stuff that was going on, but they're pretty much calm. But I did want to say what's up to KK. I think I remember you from Clubhouse. I remember your voice.
Who?
KK, you used to be on Clubhouse, right?
I was, yes. I
Yeah,
know
I knew I
am,
remember
but
your
don't
voice.
say my name.
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But no, I was going to say the thing about just real quick, the thing about needing a nation to have reparations, like that's not true. People get reparations all the time without having a nation. What you need is, number one, organization. That's what you need to so that whoever you're getting reparations from has the right structure and stuff like that to actually disperse whatever kind of whatever you decide your reparations is, right? So that's all we need. But it's hard to do when you got a bunch of pseudos and all these people running around trying to, get one over on people. Like that's the thing that messes it all up. So and that's the only thing. Oh yeah, another thing when that the Jewish lady was up on here, I wanted y'all to tell her that like they learned how to oppress Jews by studying American Jim Crow. So like all
I'm
that
like,
stuff.
they also, but guess what? How
Like-
South
like they
African apartheid came to be, they literally studied American Jim Crow.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
study America for all that stuff. So like when they start like, man, 'cause, like they try to make it seem as if Jewish Holocaust was worse. And I really don't like like saying one is worse than the other. I don't like the oppression Olympics, but if there's an oppression Olympics, it's pretty much tied between us and it's like Black Americans and Indians, right? It's pretty much tied. Like, 'cause they really got the real Holocaust. Jews got like a temporary Holocaust in one nation. You know what I mean? But like like it's nowhere near as bad, but because they had all the power and stuff like that, they can make it seem as if, oh man, it was worse. But there's other people, especially in Africa at the same time. I think was it North Africa? Like Nazis were literally doing a Holocaust on North Africans, like way worse stuff. You know what I mean? But nobody ever talking about that. Why? Because they're black. Anyway, I'll end there.
I'm like, but Trill, I want to say this. Like, I'm like, what irritates me the most is like the idea that, first of all, you're in America as a white Jewish woman, so that's why I asked her race particularly. I felt I could feel the Karen coming off, so I wanted to ask, and she said, I'm like, okay, so I'm like, first of all, white Jewish people already got reparations, so. The Jewish community in America, like, I'm like, people take anti-Semitism, and this is not to say they shouldn't, right? They absolutely should. They do take anti-Semitism, from what I have seen, very seriously.
Yep.
But when we talk about anti-blackness, when we talk about racism, those things are pushed under the rug, and like you could go into the comments, they'll say that we have a victim mentality for bringing those issues up. I don't ever see that given to women like that. Why wasn't she told that she had a victim mentality? Why is it only Black Americans that get told that we have a victim mentality?
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get the hell out of here. All right. So I appreciate everyone for coming up. I'm gonna get out of here. Shade, give me a follow. I definitely want to hear from you next time. But I'm gonna go ahead and get up on out of here. I love you all, and I love you all, and I appreciate you all. This was a good time, and it's good to be back, y'all. I am back every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'm gonna run this topic again. If I don't do this one, let me see what other topic I could do. Give me a second. Let me see.
Didn't you already say you were going to do that one that we talked about last weekend for the second one? Or do you still want to do this?
Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'll do this one. I think I'm going to run this one. Yeah, next time I'm going to run this one. On Thursday, I'll run this one. All right, y'all? So we're going to go ahead and run this one for next Thursday. It will be one-on-one, 15 minutes each person like I always give, all right? So 15 minutes one-on-one each every person. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to say that these are good for society. And if you think these are not good for society, I definitely want you to come on up, and we can have a discussion. And every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I am here, and I appreciate and love you all.